The 2017 Digital Future Report. Surveying the Digital Future. Copyright 02017 University of Southern California. The 2017 Digital Future Project. Trends and Issues. As the Center for the Digital Future completes its 15th study of the impact of the digital technology on the American scene, some of the issues that have emerged in the current study are particularly thought-provoking. Among them, hours online increases seem never-ending. All of the center's 15 studies of American online behavior have found large numbers of hours devoted to using the Internet. What seems especially noteworthy is that even after more than 20 years of open access to the Internet, the amount of time spent online continues to increase. The findings about the amount of online use suggest both benefits and consequences. Consider that in the current study, the average number of hours that users go online has reached a new high. Now 23.6 hours per week, page 6, almost an entire day per week and more than double the 9.4 hours reported in 2000, a time when regular Internet use was already the norm. The total number of hours spent online per week at home has grown or remained steady from year to year in every study since 2000. That average number has now reached 17.6 hours per week. An extraordinary jump from 3.3 hours in 2000, page 7. More than ever, the new high figure found in these studies for weekly hours online raises many social and cultural questions about the impact of shifting time use and its effects on relationships with family and friends. 65% of Internet users who are students go online for school-related work, more than double the percentage reported 10 years ago, page 11. Such a large percentage of Internet using students suggests another question: with such a powerful tool for research and information gathering at their fingertips, what are Internet users who do not go online for their studies now missing in their educational experience? The number of hours that employed Internet users are online at work has increased in every Digital Future study since 2003, and has now reached 14.3 hours per week on average, page 16. Perhaps more important, users in the four most recent studies reported that they are actively online for work more than 10 hours a week on average. With online time now exceeding 1/4 of the average work week, a continuing issue for exploration is how that online access is affecting all aspects of the American workplace. Affecting all aspects of the American workplace. Point 144. How online access is changing. The first stated mission of the Digital Future Project was to monitor the use of digital technology as it transforms in unexpected ways. One of the primary examples of this transformation is how users access the Internet. Who would have anticipated more than a decade ago, when smartphones came into common use, that mobile devices would become not just a tool for Internet access, but also the most common devices used for daily connection to the Internet? Now, 82% of users go online through a mobile phone at least once a day, more than those who use personal computers, tablets, or e-readers, page 20. How will changes in devices and access methods shape the information that Americans seek and use online? Will the traditional computer become a secondary tool and dwindle in importance for many Americans? The negative view of the Internet's impact. The current Digital Future study found that Internet access continues to increase, page 6. Users find online technology important for their relationships, page 78, and the highest percentage of respondents thus far reported making online purchases, page 55. Nevertheless, large percentages of respondents still report negative views about the role of communication technology in the world. Perhaps not surprisingly, among the small but still notable group of Internet non-users, the largest percentage thus far in the studies said that communication technology makes the world a worse place, now 43%. However, among those who go online, the percentage who said that communication technology has made the world a better place has been in a general decline since 2006, reached its lowest level yet reported in 2015, 51%, and rose only marginally in the current study to 52%. In a time when little more than half of Americans believe that communication technology makes the world a better place, how does that view affect the credibility and relevance of the Internet? Buying online, mobile phones become an important weapon for shoppers. It is no surprise that buying online continues to grow. 72% of Internet users who buy online said that their Internet purchasing reduces their retail purchasing somewhat or a lot, up significantly from 62% in 2015, page 67. But particularly important is the ongoing growth of mobile devices as a tool to conduct on-the-spot price comparison with prices found online. In the current study, 3/4 of online purchasers who browse locally but buy online said they have compared prices on a mobile device while in a store to see if there is a better deal available on the Internet, increasing from less than half, 49%, just 5 years ago, page 69. And if traditional brick-and-mortar retailers did not have enough to worry about from online sellers, they should be more concerned than ever about competitors nearby. 64% of users said they have used a mobile device while in a store to determine if a better deal was available at another store nearby, up from 55% in 2015 and more than twice the number reported when this question was first asked in 2012, page 69. 1. Reliability of information online, still a downward trend. One explanation for the declining percentage of respondents who believe communications technology in making the world a better place is the relatively small number of Internet users who believe that information online is reliable. 37% now believe that most of all information online is reliable, the lowest number reported thus far in the Digital Future Studies, page 29. More dismal is the new high percentage of users who said that only a small portion or none of online information is reliable, now 17%. Even frequently visited websites are not perceived as well as they once were. 66% of users in the current study said that most or all of the information on sites they use often is reliable and accurate. Another new low for the Digital Future Studies, page 31. Clearly, the main culprit that affects this view is information posted on social media websites. Most or all of the information is considered reliable and accurate on established media websites by 63% of respondents and 74% for government websites, but only 11% on social media sites. The low level of trust in social media sites makes it hard to miss the point that although most users report that social media sites are important, page 32, they trust these sites the least. But even the relatively high level of trust reported for information posted by established media raises questions about users' perceptions of those sites. Almost 2/3 of users may have said that most or all of the information posted online by established media, such as the New York Times or the Washington Post, is reliable and accurate, but at the same time 12% said that only a small portion or none of the information on these sites was accurate. In previous generations when print media reigned as the primary sources of trustworthy information, would newspapers have been able to maintain their public trust if measurable percentages of their readers believed that most of what they published was false? Why are some Americans still not online? The Digital Future Studies have explored the views of Internet non-users since the first study was conducted in 2000. The reasons why some Americans are not online, now less than 10%, have varied somewhat in 15 studies, but in 2017 those reasons are worth revisiting, page 27. Of particular note is the point that the expense of having a computer or going online is not a primary reason why non-users are not online. In the current study, only 9% of non-users cite expense or costs as their reason for not being online, a response that has been 10% or less since 2013. If expense is not the issue, then what is? In sum, the reasons are best summarized as a lack of will, either no computer, lack of understanding of the technology, or no interest, percentages that all increased in the current study. And more than 60% of Internet non-users said they are not likely to go online in the next year, see page 27. Previous editions of this report have noted the increase of persistent non-users, and the consequences of not going online. Even though open access to the Internet has been part of American culture for more than 20 years, the near-mandatory need to connect with government, companies, and individuals continues to grow almost daily. It is, of course, a matter of individual choice for Americans to go online, but at what cost? To choose to not be online for, say, a Facebook account may be trivial, but what price does a non-user pay by not having access to personal medical records or other important information that is increasingly available only online? For example, the forms required for an application to receive Social Security are now available only online, and not by mail. The only alternative for a non-user is an in-person visit to a Social Security office. If Internet access is assumed to be near universal, what is the social and financial cost of non-use for the rest of society? The modest percentage of Americans who self-report that they are non-users may seem like a small number, but it nevertheless represents more than 30 million people who are part of a permanent underclass that is increasingly missing out on social and financial benefits of being online, while potentially creating additional social burdens for others. The Internet and politics. In the wake of the most contentious and controversial national presidential campaign in memory, it is especially noteworthy to explore the many ways that the Internet affects politics. The current study found that the Internet is more relevant than ever in the American political process. Compared to responses gathered during the 2008 presidential election season, in the current study much larger percentages of respondents said that the Internet gives them more political power, page 130, creates more say about what the government does, page 128, helps people better understand politics, page 125. Encourages public officials to care more about what people think, page 123, and, most significant of all, serves an important role in political campaigns, page 121. The Center for the Digital Future has explored the impact of digital technology on politics from the earliest days of this project. For many years, the consensus among respondents was that the Internet could enlighten people about politics, but online technology served a much more limited role in creating political power and involvement. For several years, those views have been shifting. The Internet is now considered an integral part of all aspects of American politics by 40% or more of all respondents, users and non-users alike. There can be no question that digital technology will play an increasingly important role in creating political change and influence in American politics. How that role evolves will continue to be an ongoing priority for the Digital Future Study.